Hello students, so we shall continue with the same chapter, A Sunny Morning, and in the last class we studied about a silver maiden, okay, and Gonzalo, he described silver maiden as how beautiful she was, okay, and we also saw how these both lovers, Laura and Gonzalo, okay, so these both lovers, they used to spend time, and she, silver maiden, she used to stand in a window, okay, her room's window. She used to stand there, and um, this gallant lover, he used to come on horse, and he used to throw a bouquet of flowers, okay, to her, and while coming back she used to throw that bouquet back to him. So they exchanged lot of things, and then we saw how Laura's parents insisted her to marry a merchant, okay, and then this merchant and gallant lover had fought, and he injured gallant lover injured merchant, and he was hidden in some place, okay. And we also saw how Gonzalo says that his cousin, the gallant lover, joined army, and he had a death there, okay, glorious death there. He died by whispering the name of beloved Laura. And Laura says that what an atrocious lie, okay. So she knows that he is lying, but even though she murmurs to herself that what an atrocious life, the person is alive, and he's sitting next to me, and he says that the person is already dead, okay. So we shall continue from there. Okay, Don Gonzalo, I could not have killed myself more gloriously. So he says, because he knows that he is the person and he has not yet died, but he says that his cousin has died in an army, okay, and he says to himself, I could not have killed myself more gloriously, okay. Then Laura says, you must have been prostrated by the calamity, okay. So you might be very physically weak, okay, by your thought, okay. So then Gonzalo says, yes indeed, Sonora, as if he were my brother. I presume, though, on the contrary, that Laura in a short time was chasing butterflies in garden, indifferent to regret, okay. So he says, my brother, my cousin had gone through a glorious death, but Laura, in a short time, she forgot everything, and she was chasing butterflies means she was going back of other men's, and yes, she was not regretful, okay. So then Laura says, no Sanor, no, it is a woman's way, okay. So what you are telling, that was woman's way, where after some time they forget and they move on, okay. But here Laura, okay, what did Laura do? Laura was not that kind of woman who forgets, okay. Even if it were woman's way, the silver maiden was not of that disposition. Yes, what you are telling is a woman's way, but silver maiden was not of that way. She didn't do that. She didn't forget her gallant lover, okay. My friend awaited news for days, months, a year, and no letter came, okay. So she was waiting for a letter from him for months, days, years, okay. No letter came from him. One afternoon, just at sunset, as the first stars were appearing, she was seen to leave the house, and with quickening steps went her way toward the beach where her beloved had risked his life, okay. So yes, she went to a beach, okay, when almost it was a sunset time and the stars were appearing. She went to the beach, and she sat there. She wrote his name on the sand, okay. She wrote his name, gallant lover's name, on the sand, and then sat down upon a rock, her gaze fixed upon the horizon. The waves murmured their eternal threnody, and slowly crept up to the rock where the maiden sat. The tide rose with a boom and swept her out to sea, okay. So after writing name on the sand, okay, after Laura writing her beloved's name on the sand, she went and sat on a rock. Okay, and then waves. She was staring, or she was looking towards the waves, the sea. Okay, and the waves, the tide. Okay, the huge waves. It hits to the rock. Okay, the waves hits to the rock and takes away Silver Maiden along with them to the sea. Okay, so Laura describes that her friend died where in a sea. Okay, Gonzalo, good heavens. Laura, the fishermen of that shore who often tell the story affirm that it was a long time before the waves washed away that name written on the sand. You will not get ahead of me in decorating my own funeral. Okay, so even fisherman, he tried so much to get back Silver Maiden, but he was not able to find her in the sea. Okay, and the waves have washed away her beloved's name. And Laura says, I could not decorate my death more than this. Okay, because she also knows that she is Laura Lorente, but she is lying. Okay, that her friend Laura has already passed away. Gonzalo, she lies worse than me. Okay, so now even he realized, Gonzalo also realized that she's lying. Okay, Laura is lying, and Laura knows that Gonzalo is lying. Both Gonzalo and Laura are lying to each other that these people have died. Okay, Laura, poor Laura, Gonzalo, poor Gonzalo. Okay, so because they know each of them are lying. Laura, I will not tell him that I am married 2 years later. Okay, so yes, so now they are hiding their marital life. Okay, both of them, Laura and Gonzalo, they are trying to hide their marital life because he is a lover. Okay, he is a lover, and how can she says that she is married to a different person? Okay, she got married after 2 years. Okay, Laura got married after 2 years. And Gonzalo, in 3 months, I ran off to Paris with a ballet dancer. Okay, so she also married to a person after 2 years, but here Gonzalo, in 3 months, he ran off to Paris. Okay, he went away to Paris with a ballet dancer. So he also married a ballet dancer. Okay, Laura, fate is curious. Here are you and I, complete strangers met by chance, discussing the romance of old friends of long ago. We have been conversing as if we were old friends. Okay, so Laura says, what a fate arrives for us. Okay, awaits for us, because we here it is you and I who are complete strangers and met by chance. Okay, so it was not of their intention to meet by chance, without knowing they met each other. Okay, so yes, they met by chance, discussing. It was a coincidence that both came into the same point at a park. Okay, discussing the romance of old friends of long ago. We have been conversing as if we were old friends. Okay, Don Gonzalo, yes, it is curious considering the ill-natured prelude to our conversation. Laura, you scared away the birds. Gonzalo, I was unreasonable perhaps. So this is all. They are trying to end the conversation where he says that I screwed away the birds, and she says, and he says, I was not knowing perhaps. Okay, Laura, yes, that was evident, sweetie. Are you coming again tomorrow? Okay, so now you can see how difficult it is to know that the person is next to you and he's your lover, and you're not able to tell him that it is you. Okay, it is you who was his lover. Okay, and she asks him, are you coming tomorrow? Okay, so then Gonzalo says, most certainly, if it is a sunny morning, and not only will I not scare away birds, but I will bring a few crumbs. Okay, so yes, if it is sunny morning, I'll come here, but I will not scare away your birds. Instead, I will bring some breadcrumbs also. Okay. Laura, thank you very much. Birds are grateful and repay attention. I wonder where my mate is. Petra. Okay. So she thanks him, and birds are grateful and repay attention. So they will be grateful. Birds will be grateful, and she searches for her mate, Petra. Okay. Signs for her mate. Gonzalo aside looking at Laura, whose back is turned. Okay, so she's in search of Petra. Okay, so then he sees her. No, no, I will not reveal myself. I am grotesque now. Better than she recalled the gallant horseman who passed daily beneath her window tossing flower. So he knows that she is his lover. She was the one whom he used to love, and he says to himself that I will not reveal myself. Let her remember me as a person, as a gallant lover who used to pass by her window and who used to throw a bouquet to her. Okay, so Lara, here she comes. That Juanotto, he plays havoc with the nursemaid. So now Petra comes back, and Gonzalo. Okay, then the Gonzalo, he says, where is this Juanotto? He always plays havoc. Okay, looks towards right and signals with the hand. Laura, looking at Gonzalo, whose back is turned. So now, till now, Gonzalo was looking towards the back of Laura, and he was saying that I will not reveal myself. Let her remember me as a gallant lover. And here, Laura looking at the back of Gonzalo, no, I am not too sadly changed. It is better he should remember me as a black-eyed girl tossing flowers, and he passed among the roses in the garden. Joanna enters by right, Petra by left. She has a bunch of violets in her hand. So even she doesn't want to reveal that it is Laura Laurenti, and she also says, let him remember me as Laura Laurenti, who used to stand by the window and who used to pass flower bouquet while he was crossing. Okay, then both of the maids and servant, they came. Juanota comes by the right, Petra comes by the left, and Petra, while coming, she gets violets in her hand. Okay, so both of them understood that they were lovers. Okay, but they don't want to reveal that they have got married and they have moved on, and they actually don't want to reveal their identity. Okay, so they just think that let he remember me as a girl, as a silver maiden with black jet hair and a fair lady who used to stand by window and throw flowers, and he says let her remember me as a gallant lover. Okay, then Laura says, well, Petra, at last. Gonzalo, Juanito, you're late. Petra to Donna Laura, the guard gave me these violets for you, Sanora. So she gives Petra, Laura's maid, she gives Laura violets, flowers. Okay, and says, this is for you, madam, and this was given by that guard for you. Okay, so Donna Laura says, how very nice, thank him for me. They are fragrant. As she takes the violin from her maid, a few loose ones fall to the ground. So as she takes the violet flowers from the hands of Petra, some of the flowers fell down on the ground. Gonzalo, my dear lady, this has been a great honor and a great pleasure. Okay, so he greets him. Gonzalo, I think you have to remember how he was in the beginning. He was short tempered. He was ill man. I mean, he was not close, or he was very irritating. Okay, but now he greets her. My dear lady, this has been a great honor to meet you. It is a great pleasure to meet you. Laura, it has also been a pleasure to me. Okay, she also tells that it is pleasure for me to meet you. Gonzalo, goodbye until tomorrow. Laura, until tomorrow? Yes, if it is sunny. Laura, a sunny morning, will you go to your beach? No, I will come to this if you do not object. This bench is at your disposal. So this bench is always waiting for you, and you can come here. Okay, Gonzalo, and I will surely bring the crumbs. Okay, so he says, I will surely bring the breadcrumbs for the pigeons. Laura, tomorrow then? Gonzalo, tomorrow. Okay. So Laura walks away towards right, supported by her mates. Gonzalo, before leaving with Gianotto trembling and with a great effort, stoops to pick up the violets Laura dropped. Just then Laura turns her head and surprises him picking up the flowers. So, uh, whatever you think that you want to forget some people, you want to forget some memories, but they always creeps on you, it always creeps on you, and you always remember even small incidents of your lives, okay, which you always thought it is very precious, okay. So here is a man, um, they take a support of maid and servant, and they go by side. But here, after after Laura leaves the park, when she's crossing the park, he Gonzalo bends down and he tries to pick up the flowers which was dropped by Laura. Okay, so then she sees that. Okay, Laura sees that, and Gianotto, what are you doing, Sanor? Gonzalo says, Gianotto, wait. Laura, yes, it is he. So now, they know each other, but they are trying to hide their identity. And here, Laura, she turns back and sees him picking up the flowers, okay? And then she says that, yes, it is he. It is the gallant lover whom I loved once, okay? Okay, for that Gonzalo, and he turns and see it is she, and no mistake. So even here he realized that it is she, silver maiden, Laura Lorente, and it is she whom I loved, and it is she who was standing by the windows, and for whom I used to throw a bouquet of flowers. Donna Laura and Donna Gonzalo wave farewell. Okay, so after knowing each other that they were lovers, and they wave a farewell, they say bye. Okay, and Laura says, "Can it be that this is he?" Gonzalo says, "Heavens, it is she." Okay, so you can see how good it is to remember the past memories, and how terrific it is that it always ends up to be a memory than being a reality. Okay, and they smile once more as if they were again at the window, and he blew in the rose garden and then disappeared upon the arms of their servants. So yes, they smile once more at each other, as if they went back to the days where they loved, and where she used to stand by the window, and where he used to throw a flower bouquet to her, and they exit through upon the arms of the servant. Okay, so we shall stop here. This is about the chapter.